Smash that. Smash that.
Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenade from Pomku, eliminating everybody on the field.
Now between something as well is going to be applied as a death block them, and it's going to be huge. Fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the 4-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Tranquility, where we have a great Transcendence Tier matchup tonight between Insidous and Empire. My name is Dexatron. I am joined by BethCon. Beth, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Kind of concerned right now about my internet, but I think we're going to be okay.
All right. Well, hopefully it holds out there. It'd be tough for me to cast by myself, considering this is my first time back in a while, but it should be a fun game to come back to. Tonight we've got Insidous versus Empire. Insidous looking to get their first legit win on the board after winning by forfeit last week, and Empire looking to come out with a winning record at this end of the first stage. Dex, what are you looking forward to tonight?
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how Insidious comes off of that win. Yeah, it was a forfeited win, but hey, they have a win now in their win column. So that might make them play a little bit better going into this one. Empire, though, I mean, a 3-0 sweep over Culture last week. They're looking to keep that momentum up here. So it's going to be a very interesting battle here tonight.
Definitely. Culture's not a slouch of a team, and Empire won in pretty handy fashion there, so they've got to be having a lot of momentum coming into this match. Both of these teams have a lot of big name players on them though, Dex, and I know you've reached out to some of the leadership from both teams before the match and kind of talked about what were they going to be looking out for and what players they were going to be looking out for. So when we go into this match, like, who are you going to be keeping your eye on?
I mean, I'm going to be looking at, especially because both teams kind of talked about it a little bit, Toxic for Empire. Toxic was actually the player that I reached out to for Empire to give me some, to answer some questions. But Insidious, their coach, Hasdio, kind of did talk about, you know, they are very focused on Toxic. They consider them to be a character or a player they have to really watch out for. And hell, they even kind of talked about the tank battle that we'll see, because Toxic is the tank for Empire.
Yeah, I played with Toxic a couple seasons ago on Big Bang Buccaneers when he was playing DPS, and he's definitely got the game knowledge and sort of the map awareness to be a good tank player, so looking forward to seeing how he does that here. On the other side of the coin, though, I know that Empire said they're going to be looking out for your teammate. Your teammate's been a long-standing member of the community since about Season 2, maybe even Season 1. Just really well practiced on that support role, really well practiced in a team setting, so definitely a player to watch out for there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your teammate has been around a while, and I've definitely casted them before. They are a good player. I expect a lot out of them here tonight, but when we start looking at, you know, what each team kind of expects to run here, Insidious, they did tell me that they have been practicing mostly poke and some brawl here, even with Orisa kind of being, you know, a very dominant tank right now. It looks like they want to, you know, maybe lean more towards poke. But when you go over to Empire and Toxic, said it in the easiest and best, simplest way, brawl since it's meta.
Yeah, and honestly, Brawl into Poke is a pretty good matchup. If you can get your rotations right, if you're a well-practiced, well-coached, and like very cohesive team, you can absolutely run over a Poke comp. So it'll be interesting to see how Empire and Insidious play against each other, knowing that that's what both of the teams are looking to run.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but you know, still waiting for some players to get ready up here. I mean, just looking at these two teams here, both kind of coming in on, like we kind of mentioned, they both won their last games. Technically, Insidious won their last game by a forfeit, but hey, a win's a win, and a team will always take a win. But they're both coming in here off a win. Empire trying to end this first stage positive in the record, 3-1 or 3-2 if they win this game here tonight. But they do have a one plus one map differential here at the moment. So a serious win tonight would mean that map differential stays in the green.
And especially with this being so close to the end of the first stage, like the last game of the first stage, actually, map differential does matter just so much. We've seen it push teams from B tier into A tier, from B tier into C tier. Like, there's still a lot on the line for both of these teams in terms of setting them up for a good playoff position moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And this might be a huge game for Insidious here tonight, because remember, 1-3 on the season, got their first one last week based off because of Yoink Esports forfeited. So this might be a huge game for their season right now. 2-3 is a huge difference between 1 and 4. But you know, it always comes down. There's still a lot of weeks left in this. Teams can still turn around, but hey, you want to try to get that turnaround start before stage 2 kind of starts.
Absolutely. And I think we're still waiting on some of our teams sort of showing up here. So want to put in a plug for our upcoming event week, potentially. So event week is something that Tranquility does every season to kind of just give back to the community, give back to a charity, and just really kind of make this community a little bit more than just a gaming tournament. Dex, I know that you've been a little bit more involved in this season than I have since I've stepped down from the admin team. So did you have anything that you wanted to say about that?
I mean, you already saw Mr. Yeti. He's going to be doing, he's going to be punishing himself for certain donation amounts. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. I have asked Twitter what I should do. The ideas I have right now would be I dye my hair, but that would only be if we hit the main goal. Or I just shave the beard, because I don't think anyone online has ever seen me without my beard. And trust me, it's not good.
Would you dye your hair to match one of your hideous shirts, though? That's the most important question.
Which one, though?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, if you want to go based off colors, I have multiple multicolored shirts. So
That's true. You're relatively tame tonight, but
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, event week is gonna be fun. The staff pugs is actually Monday gonna be starting the event week, not ending it like it normally has been. And you know, I believe there's Valorant. There's even a Minecraft Hunger. I think Minecraft Hunger Games actually ends the event week next week. So still a lot of fun is gonna be had. I believe it actually all starts Friday, so event week starts a little bit early for us here at Trank. But, you know, looking back at this game here, I mean, both Insidious and Empire still, you know, kind of hanging around the bottom mid-tier of Transcendence at the moment. Definitely trying to use this game as probably a little bit of to propel themselves into stage 2, try to get a little bit better start there. But who do you think this is the bigger game for? Do you think it's a bigger game for Insidious, or do you think it's a bigger game for Empire?
Oh, that's a really tough question. It's honestly going to be just so big for both of these teams, but for different reasons. Like we've mentioned, Insidious looking for a first win that's not a win by forfeit. Empire looking to break that 5-0 record. I think I'm going to give it to Insidious as being their bigger game, just because Empire has already proved that they're kind of one of those like middle tier teams. They can beat the teams that they need to. They don't always necessarily beat the teams that are kind of more of the higher ranked teams, whereas Insidious is just trying to prove that they belonged in the competition, that they belonged like in that playoff picture. So I'm definitely going to be looking to see what they do in order to pull it out.
Absolutely, but we do know what our first map of the night will be. We're going to be heading to the Greek countryside here to Ilios.
And this is such a fun map. Every point is so unique and different. You can see all sorts of stuff working on all sorts of different points. So I'm really interested to see what both of these teams run out on. We've already talked about Insidious wanting to maybe run more of a poke comp and Empire wanting to run more of a brawl. And we do see Empire running what is a pretty meta comp with that Genji Reaper Zarya comp. Insidious, they might just be trying to juke around right now because they were showing Roadhog, now they're showing Wrecking Ball. Maybe they'll stick on the Wrecking Ball though, and that will definitely be a different look.
Yeah, it'll be definitely something interesting, especially because before that, Hasdio was teasing us with Hog, which would be incredibly interesting, but now they just want, you know, me to start saying something.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup though. Teams are almost mirroring, except for we have Sep on the Bastion and Istis on the Genji. I feel like the Genji might be a slightly better pick into the Bastion here, but it'll be interesting to see. Empire does have a lot more sustain though with Glitch on the Baptiste as opposed to Yaxim on the Kiriko.
Yeah, I mean, Empire is in a little bit of a better spot here right now because of Glitch on the Baptiste. A lot more healing can come out from that Baptiste than the Kiriko or the Lucio, but you see Dak Gameboy already pick up Istas there to get everything going, and if you're Insidious, you try to find the next heal here, and that's exactly what Gameboy will do, winning the Reaper duel there onto Train, and it'll be Insidious capping point here first while Empire tries to back away without losing any more members.
And with having a little bit less sustain and a little bit more damage with the Kiriko Bastion, Insidious played that exactly how they wanted to. They took a fast fight, they didn't let Empire stabilize. We saw Dak Gameboy get really good picks right off the bat to set them up for a really good position.
B-Ball Man coming right back and shutting down Gameboy. That's a good start here, especially since that was the main person that hit all the killing last time. Istas gonna find Sep there, and now Empire coming back, winning a quick team fight here to start off, but they're trying to find another one here, and it will be B-Ball Man shutting down your teammate. Eventually, everyone for Insidious here will fall as Istas picks up the last two, and it will be Empire taking the point for the first time.
And we've definitely seen Istas's name all over the kill feed during that fight. She did a fantastic job of just getting all the picks that their team needed and really just putting it in together for them. We do know that Insidious has a third of the point left, and we're getting up on a couple of big ultimates here, including the Dragon Blade from Istas and the beat from your teammates.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Genji come out here, especially with no Ana, because you would always be looking for that Nano Blade, but now, you know, you have Zarya on either side. However, neither of them is really close right now. B-Ball-Man, though, building up the charge incredibly fast, but it's going to be Sepp finding them there. Istas does have the blade ready to go, but probably not going to use it without their Zarya there to kind of save them. But no, they're actually going to use it after finding Sepp. Yaximo will find Glitch. The beat coming out will not get Ajax there, as Instas able to find Dak Game Boy, though, right before that. Empire still holding on to this point right now, as Insidious, you know, dropping a couple members here. Now they finally start to take the point. Yaxim going to be able to find Train again out here, and Insidious now trying to take it. Cry going to try to keep this point in their favor. It'll be Yaxim, who's just been filling up this kill feed here in this fight, taking care of them. Has Dio finally gets their name in it, and they'll be taking care of Istas, and the point will flip back over in favor of Insidious.
Empire did play that fight really well by playing that far forward, allowing them to get a lot more time on the clock at the 53%. We see Insidious doing the same thing.
Grab coming out, the beat comes out, does save one, but at the end it will be Train and B-Ball-Man falling. Empire now gonna have to fall back a little bit here. Both grabs actually came out there. Insidious, though, being the one that benefited from it the most. Dak Game Boy Sepp still holding on their ultimates here. Yaxim does have this Kasuni rush, so they do have some ultimates here to sustain.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, they've got pretty evenly matched ults. We do see Insidious having a couple of really big ones in their pocket, coming up on 62%. Empire switching off the Zarya over to onto a Junker Queen, looking to play a little faster and more rushy here as they go for this next fight.
And Matrix coming out, but you do see Train there, maybe trying to TP in the backline as the Kasuna Rush comes out here. Dak Gameway pops their Blossom, able to find Cry there. Now B-Ball-Man falls, Glitch following them as well. The 2 DPS left alive for Empire, just trying to get out of this one here, but that percentage is only building up higher and higher for Insidious.
Yeah, getting close to last fight territory here for Empire. Insidious does have that Bastion ult on board, great for zoning teams out and not allowing them to get the territory that they want, which it looks like they're going to be doing here to start off early.
Yep, here comes the artillery strike. Gonna be able to find Instas, who comes back on the soldier here. Immediately gets shut down, though. Empire does get a point touch here to try to force overtime. They will be able to do that. Train still holding on to this Death Blossom, not being able to use it yet. Definitely gonna come and use it now. They're using it now, but it'll be your teammate shutting them down. The Immortality Field coming out a little bit late there from Glitch. And now Insidious just needs to clean up this fight. Hasdio gonna shut down Glitch. B-Ball-Man in a bad spot. Hasdio picking up all the kills here. Make it 3 for the Zarya. Yaxim will take the last one there onto Istas. And Insidious will take the first point of Ruins.
That was very well played by Insidious, too. They had the higher damage output. They were able to keep Empire on their back foot. I just loved seeing that last fight. Hazio just watching Train, like, okay, they have, he has his ultimate up. I'm saving a bubble. I'm watching him. He's not going to get that off if I have anything to say about it. And just effectively shutting down the only ult that Empire had that fight. Really, really well played by Insidious. We do see Insidious here is running out on the exact same comp that was working for them, that very high damage output comp. Dak Game Boy going to the Symmetra. Actually, now they're switching it up. Symmetra might just be for TP out of spawn, but we see that they're going to more of a poke comp with Sepp on the Echo, Hasdio on the Sigma, and your teammate going from the Lucio over to the Brigitte. Empire, on the other hand, also switching things up. We are seeing an Orisa coming out from them. So definitely both teams looking to run a little bit more pokey of a comp. Insidious might do better in the poke phase based on what they're running, but Empire definitely has the stronger brawl phase. So it'll be interesting to see how both of these teams are playing it out.
And honestly, I thought Dak Gameboy was only going to use the Symmetra here to get a TP, but looks like they want to stick with the character here. That's actually going to be very interesting here. And you already see what Sepp's able to do. They're just putting so much damage. Already find Istas right there before really anything is able to get going. You see that Echo Mercy over there away from their team, trying to do whatever they can, but they're going to have to fall back here and regroup. Yaxim, though, maybe going a little bit too far. B-Ball-Man incredibly low, but is getting supported here by the supports.
Yeah, it looks like Empire's able to stabilize a little bit here with that pick onto Yaxim, but Insidious does have the point up, so they're getting a little bit of point progress here, even as Empire is able to stabilize.
Absolutely. Insidious capping point here first. Has Dio getting javelined away there. Dak Gameboy getting incredibly low. Sepp will find B-Ball-Man, but they do lose Dak Gameboy. However, I feel like you'll take that a DPS trade for a tank there if you're Insidious or Sepp. You don't necessarily want to lose them, as they've been doing a lot of your damage so far. And now they're in the back line. They might go into their assault form right here once they get it, but they're going to fall straight back out. Intas, though, will find your teammate, and then Train finds Sepp as well. Insidious now. Maybe just going to try to hold on this point for as long as it can. Yaxim in a bad spot, gets stunned, gets taken out there by B-Ball-Man. Has Dio now, is all there, is by themselves. Their Game Boy, though, coming back in time, but they're only going to be TPing themselves out of that one as Empire takes a point for the first time.
Insidious did a great job, though, of losing that fight as slowly as possible. They have 44% point progress. They didn't use a single ult. Honestly, really great play by them. Empire, on the other hand, is coming up on a bunch of ults, including Copy and both of their support ults. So they're going to have a lot more resources in the bank to hold this point.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be interesting to see. You do see that Game Boy get the TP up there, but your teammate coming up there, going to be able to take care of Train, and you're not going to see Cry come up there try to get the res, but you do see the Coalescence and the Valkyrie come out there. Oh, but a nice Javelin from B-Ball, man, to get HaychZee out of their flux right there. That's a huge ultimate gone here for Insidious. Glitch able to get themselves out of that one there as the Photon Barrier does come up here from Dak Game Boy. That will provide a lot of members of Insidious here to kind of be safe behind this wall. Duplicate, though, coming out on the Train. Duplicate into that Sigma from HaychZee. Yaxum finally getting some kills, gonna find Train. Your teammate finds Glitch. Insidious doing what they need here to try to take this point back. You do see B-Ball Man almost push your teammate into the well there, but it will be instead be your teammate finding Istos while the rest of Empire will fall.
That was a really great play by Empire, honestly, on the defense. Again, losing it as slowly as possibly, stunning HaychZee out of his ultimate. But that said, really great take by Insidious, getting the picks that they needed to clear Empire off the point. We do see them going from Echo over to Mei for the side of Empire now. Gives them a little bit more brawl, a little bit more splitting up potential. But we do see also that Yaxum and Sep both have their ultimates up for the side of Insidious.
Yeah, and we saw what that artillery strike was able to do last round, or last map. Able to find one pick, and that really did help him out there. And they're not going to be able to find one this time, but they do enough damage that your teammate's able to clean up B-Ball Man. Dak Game Boy will find Cry, and look at this. It's just Insidious cleaning up Empire here. And Istos following their 90% encounter. You're seeing some swaps come out from Empire.
And Empire has about one fight left. They're switching to a full dive to try to counteract Insidious's poke comp here, but they're really just going to have to scramble to touch here if they want to make anything work. Sep melts down Cry. Your teammate gonna be able to take care of B-Ball Man there. It's now just a touch fest here for Empire, but you're already down. Make that 4/5 of your team as Train falls, and I don't think Istos is gonna be able to even touch the point. No, they get taken out there. Insidious taking this first map pretty dominantly. Honestly, though, they were looking so good. They played so coordinated, and Empire just didn't have the solution to that Bastion comp. We see your teammate getting play the game here. I was actually going to give them a shout out as well. We saw teammate's name on the kill feed so much as Brigitte. It almost felt like we were watching goats all over again. Just definitely a very dominant support player, and it seems that Empire was right to name them as one of the players that they were going to be looking out for this match.
Beth, you have to remember, Goats never dies. Every comp is just a somewhat messed up version of Goats outside of dive comps here. But yeah, your teammate did incredible on that, on the Brigitte there for the longest time on well. And you did see Empire come back and, retake the point once. But after that, once Insidious was pretty much able to get it back, Empire struggled to even really get anything going. A couple good plays coming out there from that Insidious squad. Empire just wasn't able to figure them out there.
Yeah, and honestly, they did seem to struggle a lot against that poke comp, which is surprising considering that they said that they were more comfortable on Brawl, which theoretically can beat poke with a really good rotation. But that said, Empire does get the map choice then moving into map 2, which is our hybrid map. The choices are going to be Hollywood, Parisio, and Eichenwald. I feel like a lot of these maps can really favor Empire in general, although they have their points where poke can work really well and Insidious will want to run them, namely like second point Eichenwald, first point Parisio, things like that. A lot of them are also really favorable for Brawl and Dive comp, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to pick.
Well, we do know what they have picked. They're going to be picking the map of Eichenwald here. Now, Beth, thinking about, they're picking Eichenwald, what do you necessarily expect to see? Because in my opinion, that also kind of does play into Insidious' hands as well, because that first point, especially on the defensive side, is a really good poke point.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be interesting to see what Empire does decide to pull out here. I'm not certain whether they're starting attack or defense, but maybe they have a really good Pharah player in their back pocket that they think that can be really dominant over the buildings on first point of Eichenwald. Maybe they feel like they have really good rotations on their Brawl on this map, and they're just willing to just walk all over Insidious no matter what they're running. But I think either way, Empire can make it work, but Insidious definitely has a little bit of an advantage in their pokey comp, especially on the first and second points. Does break down a little bit on the third point, but you kind of got to get there first. So Going to be really interested to see what Empire decides to run here. And it does look like Empire is attacking first, Insidious choosing to defend first. So I feel like that plays into Insidious's favor a lot, knowing that they want to run more of poke comps, and that the first 2 points are so strong. If they can get a first or a second point hold here, it can set them up into a really good position.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to remember Empire on the second point there of Ilios. They brought out that Echo to start. While it did get some success to get everything going, once you saw Insidious kind of get, you know, a good foothold on that point, the Echo just wasn't as valuable as a pick that Empire was probably hoping for here. So yeah, you might see that Pharah come out. You might see an Echo come out here for Empire. Maybe they try to do something a little bit fast, try to get into the backline of that rush comp to try to shut down Insidious's healers. Because remember, your teammate there was finding a whole bunch of kills. Yeah, it was on the Brigitte, who needs to do damage to heal, but they were just getting a lot of value.
Definitely, and we saw them getting a lot of value on other support characters as well. So it will be interesting to see what they run out on. And it looks like on defense, they're running the Iliari Baptiste combo. That is a lot of healing output from the side of Insidious, as well as the lot of really annoying DPS characters with Symmetra and Bastion. Just very high output, very sort of annoying forms with those turrets and with the tank mode that Bastion has. This is going to be a pretty tough defense to crack, depending on what Empire decides to do to sort of accommodate it. We do see Empire running Symmetra Mei. I don't know whether they're going to try to do the cheeky over the top strat that we see teams go sometimes. It'll be funny if they do. I would love that. But they may be just trying to use the Symmetra to make Ryan and this brawl comp into more of a divey thing, get them into an advantageous position and really just move around.
I mean, we have seen what the London Spitfire have been able to do with a Symmetra and a Ryan here, but you know, you called Symmetra and Bastion here annoying DPS. I feel like all three DPS that we're seeing on the field right now would be classified as annoying DPS here, but you immediately see that TP come in there from Istas to get in the backline. You immediately see them throw all their turrets. They're on point, and right now Insidious doing a good job of keeping everyone healed up. Sep having to do a lot here, but once they melt down that shield from B-Ball, man, that's going to allow a lot of damage to go the way of Insidious here, and you're seeing Empire here just start to fall back, but they find Sep there. That's a huge pickoff for Empire, because like I said, a lot of damage will come from that Bastion.
Definitely. Empire did a really good job of getting kind of a soft reset in there and just playing their advantages. Insidious got set on the back foot a little bit by that rotate by Empire. They did a really good job of not letting Insidious play where they wanted to play and kind of scrambling them a little bit, picking people off one by one and capping the point with relative ease.
Yeah, a good start for Empire here after what was kind of a struggle there on Ilios for them. But I feel like the comp they came out with kind of caught Insidious off guard a little bit. I really don't think they expected to see a Symmetra on the offensive side as well.
Yeah, now we see Insidious going over to kind of a mirror comp. Actually, it's almost exactly a mirror comp, other than the Bastion for the Mei. Kind of an interesting setup here. With the Bastion and the Symmetra, you have a little bit less brawl than you normally have with a Reinhardt, but they could make it work, especially if the Symmetra gets up to full charge.
Yeah, but you do see the Mei, they're getting some value, being able to wall off HazZeo from the rest of their team. The Amplimatrix coming out here from Glitch as well, trying to catch Insidious playing on that staircase right there. But instead, looks like they want to put some eyes on the cart right now. They're going to be able to find Cry there. The Photon Barrier, though, coming out here from Istas, trying to do something here, but it will be B-Ball Man finding your teammate Yaxim falls right after that. And this is kind of a good retake here for Empire. Getting rid of both the supports there for Insidious is going to make him play very softly here, but yeah, taking care of HazZeo as well pretty much ends the team fight. Sep dying as well, and Dak getting themselves out of there, but only for a moment.
Yeah, Empire did a really good job of going after high-value targets on that attack. They took out the supports early, allowing Insidious to not really have any sort of sustain. Insidious did do a good job of preventing a lot of point progression, though, which might play into their favor here.
Oh, Yaxim gets punished there for trying to save their teammate of Game Boy. The Blizzard coming out here from Train freezes HazZeo. And Insidious now struggling to get anything going on this map. Sep finding a kill on the Istas there. That might be the Insidious's own third kill so far this map. And Empire already capping point B with over 5 minutes in the time bank.
And this is totally not what I was expecting going into here. I thought Insidious was going to look really strong on the first few points, but we see Empire just walking all over them, forcing Insidious to sort of play into their hands on this brawl comp that they look a little bit less practiced and comfortable with. Insidious, however, is coming up on so many ultimates. They have a pretty high chance here of making something work.
Shatter comes out, hits two people. The Barrage comes out there from Sep, not going to be able to find anyone as B comes out from Cry to try to counter that. The Amage also came out there for Glitch, not going to be able to find anything with that, but it doesn't matter as their team continues to pick up pick after pick after pick here. The two supports trying to keep themselves alive. The charge coming in there from B-Ball Man. Sep somehow takes himself out of the fight. Yaxim and teammate follows them to the grave.
Cry absolutely saved that fight for her team. It looked like all was lost. She got that beat off and just was able to sustain her team through a number of ultimates from Insidious. Insidious here only has their support ult to get last contest. They may not even get touch.
Beat comes out to try to get their team there. They do get a touch here. They're at this point just trying to whittle down this time bank as much as they can. Sep coming on the Junkrat immediately gets shut down there by a turret from Insidous. The Immortality Field gone as well. The turrets doing all the damage here, picking up all the kills. B-Ball Man will find one. Insidous picking up 3. Train will pick up the last one. And with over 4 minutes to go, Empire putting on a clinic here on Eichenwald.
This is a completely different Empire than we saw first map. I felt like first map, Empire just sort of let Insidious do what they wanted. They didn't have answers to anything that they were doing. But they did such a good job this time of stepping it up. They're playing at a completely different tempo and looking so good. Insidious here is going to have to try something a little bit different, maybe to try to at least match or beat the time that Empire set. We saw that they tried that poke comp on the first point that absolutely folded to Empire's Symmetra strat. So it'll be interesting to see whether they decide to go with the old tried and true poke comp or try something a little bit different here to try to match Empire or surpass Empire as they move into their attack phase.
It's going to be very difficult to try to surpass Empire here because I don't think Empire really ever lost a team fight. Insidious just not looking like the team we saw on Ilios here. Empire, again, not looking like the team we saw on Ilios either. Kind of like you said, this is the map they needed. They picked this map for a reason, and before we came into it, we were talking about, the first point is a very good poke defensive point, and, that might be playing in Insidious' hands, but Empire immediately proving us wrong, or at least me wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Insidious here at least showing sort of a hybrid poke brawl comp. We know that Ramatra is really good at both the poke and the brawl phase here, but Empire has a really, really strong poke phase here. Insidious may find themselves struggling to walk onto Empire in the way that they want to, and even if they do, we also know that Orisa can really hold their own. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like they are taking the same exact route we saw Empire in. Maybe they're trying to teleporter strat of their own here.
Yeah, they're gonna probably do the exact same thing, like you said. The TP strat, is gonna have to be kind of smart here from them. Empire, they're not coming out with a Symmetra here, and you immediately see the TP into the backline, and has Dio trying to get whatever they can here in the Nemesis mode. Only gonna be able to really find maybe the turret there, but look at that, 2 kills from Empire, already kind of shutting down this first push here from Insidious. B-Ball Man just spinning, has Dio back, and now Insidious gonna try to get out, but no, it will be Empire shutting them down.
Yeah, Empire looked like they were expecting what Insidious was running there. Insidious had a great idea. They looked a little bit less practiced on it maybe than they wanted to, but they were able to get about 1/3 of their ults across the board up here. They may just be playing for some of those big game-winning ultimates like the Kiriko ultimate and the Ramatra ultimate.
Yeah, absolutely. But the nice javelin there from B-Ball Man against the stars. They're going to try the TP strat again, trying to get someone off with that ice wall, not doing necessarily what they were hoping for here. Train maybe getting a little bit too aggressive. They're able to fall back, keep themselves alive. Has you here having the block to make sure they do not fall very fast here. And you do see your teammate doing a good job here, keeping everyone supported. But right now, Insidious needs to try to find an opening pick. B-Ball Man getting incredibly low. Your teammate falls. There goes a lot of your healing. Sep, though, able to find B-Ball Man, their Train falls as well. Kills just going back and forth here, but in the end, it will be Insidious coming out on top.
Yeah, definitely the picks favored Insidious there. We do see that they still have a Sojourn alive, but they're just going to be able to touch point briefly, probably. Unless Insidious isn't able to get the pick off, but no, there we go. Rest of the team coming back, but it looks like they were able to get the cap. We see that all of the teams are coming up basically on all 5 of their ultimates. Nobody's really had to use anything yet. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to use here. We see that Insidious does have their Mei ult up, which doesn't seem like Empire has much of an answer for other than maybe the Orisa eating it. But that said, Train also has his ultimate up, which can prove to be a pretty good space-occupying ultimate, as it were.
Yeah, and if Kraken build up their beat here, they can pretty much cancel out the Blizzard. You do see a lot of ultimates coming out here, 2 coming out from each side right now. The Terror Surge not going to be able to find anything there, but you do see Insidous picking up 2 with their Overclock. Insidious' ultimate's not finding anything as your teammate and Dak Gameboy use their Photon and Amp Matrix there, and it's a team kill for Empire.
Insidious and Empire both still have 3 of their ultimates up. I feel like both of these teams could still potentially swing the fight in their favor with the ultimates that they have available. Insidious is going to want to play up on top of Empire with the ultimates that they have, whereas Empire is able to play a little bit further back. Wondering whether Insidious is going to plan to just teleport on top of them in order to get the most high value here.
They're not going to teleport on top of them, but they will force out the damage there from Glitch, and now Empire kind of just swapping spots here with Insidious, as Insidious now on the high ground attacking and Empire on the low ground here defending.
Yeah, kind of an interesting point flip. They gave up that high ground fairly easily, especially considering that the window was up there.
Blizzard coming out, the Molten Core coming out as well. The beat will hit 4 people there. However, it will be Sepp taking care, or Sepp Blizzard taking care of the turret there. The Annihilation coming out from HaychZee as well. Not finding anyone yet, but Empire finding a lot of kills here. HaychZee's Annihilation will not find anything. Sepp's Blizzard, again, will not find anything either. And Empire having used a couple ultimates there, but still holding strong.
Yeah, and Empire's coming back up on their Orisa ultimate as well, which will be proved to be pretty helpful here. Insidious looks like now that they've used their ultimates, they're looking to make a lot of swaps. They're switching over to a Zarya composition. Will give them a little bit more of an advantage maybe into an Orisa, although they're running such a long-range poke, and Insidious is really going to want to play on top of them. They're going to have to be really clean with their rotates in order to get any value out of this composition switch.
Yeah, and they have to get something going here, because 2.5 minutes, yeah, that's still a lot of time, but when you look at that time bank that Empire has to finish the map, you need to get going, and you do see B-Ballman, they have their target picked out here of your teammate, going to be able to find them. Dak, though, finding Istos right before that. Dak will also find B-Ballman. I do really like this swap to Reaper here, can do a lot of damage, and kind of shuts down the Orisa here a little bit, and now, finally, Insidious winning a team fight here. Going to put as many bodies on this card to try to get it pushed as far as they can before Empire comes back out.
Definitely. Insidious played that really well, honestly. They played under them, not allowing them to get any advantage out of their poke comp and forced them to drop, at which point they were able to pick them off one by one, given that they were the better brawl comp.
Dak having to wraith himself out of there, as you see B-Ballman right there. Terror Surge coming out. They know there's really nothing they can do there. Train will find Dak right off of that, and you do see Yaxum get out of there, using the Suzu to keep themselves alive. Insidious here on the high ground does have the animation up there. Train will find Sepp as well. B-Ballman shutting down your teammate, and now it's just Empire cleaning up the rest of Insidious here. About 1.5 minutes, and the card is on a very peculiar spot here for Insidious.
Yeah, that is such a good place for Empire to have stopped them. It's such a tough point for people to attack on point 2. Insidious does have a couple of big ultimates up, including a Graviton Surge, which can be absolutely game-winning, depending on whether they're able to trap some high-value targets in it. But Empire's coming up on a couple of their own. Their beat may be able to stand them through that. We've seen Cry use their beats very well in the past in order to protect their team.
Absolutely, but your teammate coming up on that Coalescence right now. It's going to be interesting to see if they use it early or if they do not. They get hit by the Javelin and they immediately pop their Coalescence, trying to get as much damage as they can through this small space. The grab does come out, but the beat, like you said, will come out there from Cry to try to keep everyone alive. Sepp, though, finding Istos there, and Insidious starting to play the card and starting to try to find some picks as well. B-Ballman, though, still alive on this Orisa, and right now, it will actually be Dak shutting them down. HaychZee finding Glitch. Insidious now just need to clean up a couple more players here, and they should be able to cap point B.
Yeah, Insidious played that really well. We saw HaychZee wait for B-Ballman to use all of their Orisa cooldowns, so they had nothing to use against the Graviton Surge. And we saw, even though Cry used that beat absolutely perfectly and was able to sustain their team well, that Insidious just had really good target focus and was able to clean up. Only 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, which is sure a far cry from what we've seen in the 4 minutes and 5 seconds that Empire has. But that said, it's still anybody's game.
Sepp going to be able to shut down Train there, who's popping their Death Blossom, but it's going to be Dak's Death Blossom that finds 2. B-Ballman will shut down HaychZee here. However, Insidious still does have this numbers advantage right now. B-Ballman not going to be able to charge themselves out of that fight, and Insidious now doing a little bit of a good job here on the push phase, as you do see HaychZee make that swap there to the Ryan back to the Zarya.
Yep, always keep them guessing, I guess. But we do see Empire's going over to a Bastion. Bastion obviously really, really strong on last point defenses here. Definitely going to put out a ton of damage. And Train taking Yaxum out early is going to spell trouble for Insidious here.
And Glitch finding Dak as well. I mean, Insidious now just going to have to fall back here, not to stagger themselves out here.
Yeah, and with 1 minute left, they're definitely going to want to take this next fight in convincing fashion. They're probably already getting to the point where they won't have a chance to attack based on where that card is and how much time that they have left, but they got to push in order to just even make this map drawable at this point. Empire does have their window, which it looks like they're going to be using early here in order to just obtain that pressure and even burn more time off the clock for Insidious.
your teammate instead of having their ultimates right now for Insidious. Nicole, this is going to be the first thing popped here for them as they try to get something going. Now the overclock coming out here from Sep, desperately trying to find anything they can with these railgun shots, finding some damage, but not finding any kills, and will not find any kills with an Empire. Was able to withstand that one there. Istas, though, just got their artillery strike here right now, and you look at all the ultimates that Empire's going on. Shatter comes out, hits TeeHaychZee, your teammate in it there, but the bubble coming out there onto your teammate, the perfect time to save them. However, they do lose Yak. Some beat coming out from Cry as Empire wants to end this map here and now, and the kill feed is definitely saying that.
Yeah, Empire looks like they're going to win this one in absolutely convincing fashion. This is a different team than we saw in the first map. Insidious was looking so clean and well practiced and organized on that first map that it looked like it was going to probably keep running in their favor, but Empire just came out here and they just played really good Overwatch. They were very well coordinated, they had their compositions in mind, and they just really played to their advantage every step of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the over 4 minutes on the time bank here for Empire on the push is insane in my opinion, because I feel like we say it's a lot of time when they have over 2 minutes. You just doubled that for Empire there. So yeah, that was the bounce back map they absolutely needed. Insidious, though, I mean, they looked like a shell of the team we saw on Ilios there, and maybe it was truly just Empire has scrimmed the living hell out of Eichenwald.
It very well could be, but after the halftime, we're going to go back to Insidious's map choice. So it's going to be interesting to see what map they choose and what their plan is going into Empire here. If we see Insidious play like they did on the first map, or it's still anybody's game at this point. It's tied up 1-1, and both of these teams are going to be fighting like hell to try to get this really pivotal win for themselves.
Yeah, but like Brett said, we're going to take a quick break, but remember, there is another Transcendence Tier game going on right now. I'm forgetting the team names, but it's over on Tranquility GG2 here on Twitch. So we're going to take about a 4-minute break. Go watch that one for 4 minutes. Come back to this one. So we're going to be right back.
I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? Do I like a little game? I do. Do you want me to come play them too? I'm thinking right, girl. 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 I'm thinking right, girl.
All right, welcome back everyone from that halftime break. Empire with a dominant Eichenwald map there before the break to tie this series up at 1. Heading into our third map here momentarily. Beth, what did we necessarily see there from Empire that kind of made Insidious really struggle there in Eichenwald?
Honestly, it was just their coordination. I honestly think that's kind of the defining characteristic between the Empire we saw map 1 and the Empire we saw map 2. Insidious's Bastion on map 1 was just so able to clean up any of Empire's members that were just not exactly with the rest of the team. But Empire didn't allow that to happen on map 2. They were able to rotate really cleanly, just get where they needed to go, focus on the targets they wanted to focus down, and Insidious kept making swaps to try to make something work and just weren't able to make the same magic that happened on map 1 work again.
And that was actually kind of the same problem that Empire was dealing with on map 1, making a lot of swaps, not really able to build up any ultimates. You can go back to that first point there on Ilios of Ruins. The Reaper for Empire had their Death Blossom with about 50% on Insidious's point cap. They didn't use it there till the very end, so there was just not enough cohesion there for Empire to really get anything going on Ilios, but immediately turn around there on Eichenwald. Now Insidious picking the map here. We don't know what it is just yet, but this has to be a huge bounce back map for them.
Definitely, and if you're Insidious, you're probably looking to run away from any map that could favor Empire's Brawl. We saw that when Empire and Insidious were running mere Brawl matchups, that Empire was just looking so dominant. So if you're Insidious at this point, I feel like you're really trying to force Empire off of that comp that they felt so comfortable on. That said, the maps this week are, I believe, Dorado, Rialto, and I can't remember the third one off the top of my head.
But you don't need to remember it.
Great. Oh, it's Rialto. Fantastic. So Rialto, I do feel like is going to favor Insidious a lot here. It's definitely, especially for point 1 and 2, but again, we said this for Eichenwald, is very poke favored. You've got those high grounds, you've got the long sight lines, all things that Insidious can definitely look to use to their advantage here, whereas Empire might have to make a couple of hero swaps in order to be the most optimal that they can be. That said, like we said on Eichenwald, that third point is a doozy of a brawl map if you play it that way. So Insidious, again, starting on defense here, probably just going to try their hardest to prevent Empire from making it to that third map where they're going to, or even like making it as slowly as possible to the third point to try to prevent it from playing into their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And, both teams did talk about, pulling out a brawl comp here at some point, and I kind of thought we would see the Orisa. We did see Insidious play the Orisa for a little bit. Empire played for a little bit too, but honestly, it's Reinhardt that has been just absolutely shining here for Empire, specifically with it. They have been getting a lot of value out of it, especially back on Eichenwald. With the Symmetra, they're able to just TP, get into the backline of Insidious really fast. Really did give Insidious a lot of problems. While you could force it here, especially if you're going to try to run the sim again, I don't know how valuable it will be.
Definitely. And we see that B-Ball Man is at least looking like they're going to roll out on the Sigma. Honestly, B-Ball Man has looked really good on every tank that they've run, but I do feel like we saw them shine the most on the Reinhardt. So it will be interesting to see kind of this slightly different look here. Empire going for a very, very strong pokey comp with the Mercy, the Ashe, and the Torbjorn, that's the name of that. Insidious, though, looking for kind of a combo pokey dive comp, or maybe a full dive, but with a Junkrat, which is kind of an interesting look. But we're probably gonna want to see HaychZee and Dak Gameboy coordinating, going after some of those less mobile targets like the Ashe or the Torbjorn for Empire.
Yeah, and you have to suspect Sep coming out here on the Junkrat is because maybe they expected to see Empire come out on the Reinhardt here. So maybe, you know, after one life, depending on what value they get out of the Junkrat here, maybe they swap off. But you're seeing Dak Gameboy get a lot of damage up there onto Istos. Not able to find the kill, though, as they did fall down. But Insidious now starting to push the card and get some pressure on that high ground there.
Yeah, Insidious is doing a really good job of forcing Empire to where they don't want to be. Empire is going to want to play, again, high grounds, long sightlines, and things like that, but Insidious did a really good job of taking this high ground away from them early on and giving themselves the advantage. They're already rounding second corner on this point, which is going to give them a really good look here for first fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But you look at Istos right now, find the first pick there on to Seb, already 80, and the second pick on the Dak Gameboy, already 80% and counting to Bob right now, and getting the D-Mech, and finding HaychZee. Istos showing their Deadeyes so far on Ashe.
Yeah, we've seen Istos honestly put out a couple of really good plays this entire game, so I feel like the fact that they're already up to their Bob is no surprise here. That said, Empire is coming up on a number of ultimates, or I guess two for sure. They've got the Bob. Oh, but that pick by Yaxim is going to be huge and force out the res here.
Yeah, and Yaxim was kind of sitting in the backline the entire time there. It seemed like Empire kind of forgot, or at least Istos forgot. And if you're Insidious, push the go button now. Istos has been the biggest thorn in your side this entire map so far. The Immortality Field coming up there to keep B-Ball Man alive. The grass coming out as well. Does get some shields back, but Train to be able to find Dak Gameboy there. And the Bob now coming out with the Valkyrie from Cry as well. Coalescence, though, being forced out here by your teammate to try to keep them in this fight.
Yeah, Empire using a couple of ultimates here. Istos coming back is going to be absolutely huge for their ability to stabilize here. We do see that Insidious is still in that, but that said, Train has taken out a couple, including the hammer kill onto HaychZee. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
He got the meme kill. They got the meme kill. And Istos still picking up right where they left off. 2 kills, shutting down Sep and Yaxim there. Sep coming out on the Widowmaker is an interesting pick, in my opinion here, because unless you're finding headshots consistently, I don't know how valuable the Widow is.
Honestly, though, a Widow can have a lot of really good map pressure, especially on this last little part of first point, given the long sight lines and things like that. You're going to force their Sigma and, to a lesser extent, their supports to play in ways that may be less advantageous for them if you're able to get your Widow into a good position.
I thought Sep almost jumped off the map there. I think they did too. But now HaychZee trying to get something going here. The Consumer's coming out from Yaxim. Dak will find Glitch, and there goes a lot of the healing. Cry can do a lot of healing as well, but they're going to be able to res Glitch back in this one. And look who's already picking up kills. It's Istos. The Overload coming out here from Train. He did pop the Molten Core as well. The Flux coming out from HaychZee, but the Accretion from B-Ball Man shuts down that ultimate right now. Istos also shutting down Sep, and now Empire just looking to clean up the rest of Insidious. HaychZee, though, still picking up a couple kills here. They do have Yaxim support and a nice dodge there from that rock by Yaxim, but once they lose HaychZee, how much longer will they live?
Yeah, that was kind of a long, drawn-out fight for what it needed to be. Yaxim and HaychZee probably should have just looked to get out there. But that said, gotta love the even tank battle there. Both Sigmas popping their ultimates, both Sigmas rocking the other one out of their ultimate. Just very evenly matched tank play is what we've been seeing between both of these teams, I feel like, on these Sigmas.
Absolutely, but coming up on 20 seconds here, Insidious really only has this duplicate right now in Istos. One good headshot away from getting yet another Bob here. They do have a Valkyrie coming up are ready to go as well, so they are in a really good spot right now. Istos though gets taken out first. That's not who Empire wanted to see fall. And if you're Insidious, go now. You have the one ultimate. You're going to duplicate here into a Sigma of your own. B-Ball Man, though, going to shut down Sepp in the backline, who is on cart duty right now, but overtime has commenced. The Valkyrie coming out here from Cry. The turret from Train going to be able to shut down Yaxum here. And now Empire starting to have a couple of their members come back. Dak Game Boy not going to be able to get the flux off that Train. Istas coming back into the fight. Bob coming out as well. Throws him into the hallway, but will still be able to provide some damage. Oh no, Train. Oh, don't do this. Oh, B-Ball Man takes B-Ball Man takes it away from them. Istas will shut down Sepp. And Empire, 73 meters is all they allow Insidious to get here.
That was honestly just really good play by Empire. We saw multiple times Insidious getting the first pick, and even when it wasn't res, they just weren't able to take advantage of their fight advantage there. Empire did a really good job of playing even when they were a man down and just remaining calm, getting the picks that they needed, and forcing Insidious out every time. Again, we've seen Istas and Train both just put in a ton of damage, and Cry and Glitch put out tons and tons of healing there. Just really, really solid work all around by Empire. Insidious is not completely out of this yet, although this is a really tough corner to hold. It's a lot easier when you get it all the way to the end. We've seen a lot of teams hold it in that last arch there, but they only pushed it 73 meters. They really are going to have to work hard and try really hard to keep Empire from just rolling them in one good fight and making this a really a one game for Empire.
Absolutely, and you kind of said it right there yourself. This could be one team fight and done. And if you're Insidious, you have to know that here. Like, if you allow Empire to kind of push it up over the bridge, it's one team fight and done. Especially if they stagger you out or they kill you all in 5 seconds. Like, they have to be ready for this. But look at Empire. They're coming out with a Pharmacy combo and Istas on the Widowmaker. I'm surprised by that, especially with how dominant their Ashe was on defense.
I'm not entirely surprised, especially kind of first coming out. Widow is very, very good first point here. If Istas is feeling their headshots and they're like, no, I can make my Widow a threat, then this could be absolutely massive for Empire. What I'm most surprised by, oh man, that's an early pick. What I was going to say is I'm most surprised by the fact that Insidious is playing so far back. They're allowing Empire to basically get the first part of their cart push completely for free here.
Yeah, and you have to remember right now, Empire pretty much has spawn advantage no matter what here. Hazio fighting Istas, though, is a good pick for them. B-Ball Man getting kind of low right now. Train doing whatever they can here up in the sky right now with this far. Now getting some support there from Cry as well. Insidious, though, smartly starting to fall back here, but still, you're seeing Train just raining a lot of damage from above.
Definitely, and with Cry in his pocket, he's doing such a good job of just not allowing Insidious to get comfortable no matter where they are. We see that Empire is stabilizing a little bit here. They're building up their ultimates. They know they have time, but Istas gets a big pick on the step, which could be huge, and then Train picking off that Game Boy. It just might be all over for Insidious here.
Yeah, Immortality Field coming out there for your teammate. Immediately gets taken out there. Glitch will find that kill there. You're seeing some members of Insidious come back, but like you said, that might be it. We might see a last-second touch here. Oh, but Yaxum gets taken out. Istas will shut down Step there. And Empire now goes to series point.
Yeah, Empire again, just showing really a lot of dominance in that map. We thought, or kind of going into this, I thought it might favor Insidious a little bit more, just given how Empire looked way better on the Brawl than they had on any of their other compositions. But with Istas kind of stepping up here and really just putting in so much damage, Insidious was kept on their back foot and playing a man down almost the entire night, which is so tough, especially if you're trying to attack Rialto.
And honestly, like, we saw the play of the game there from Istas. Istas on that Ashe was such a problem there for Insidious that they were never really able to get anything going, whether it was because dynamites were coming in or it was just because Istas was able just to find headshot after headshot, forcing Insidious there to play it incredibly slow because they were having to get healed up. But that was such a good defensive hold there for Empire there, and then an even better offensive push there from them. Insidious, though, another map pick for them here, and now their backs are against the wall here. They looked really good on Ilios, but now they need to show us something.
And this is the part in any game when you really just sort of have to dig deep, shore up your mental, try to regain a little bit of that spark that brought you to win that first map here. They've proven to us that they can do it. They looked absolutely dominant on Ilios to start this off. They just have to rediscover what made that series great. Empire here is feeling super comfortable. They have a lot of momentum going on. It's going to be tough for Insidious to overcome that, but they know that they have taken a map off of them and they can do it again here.
And we do know what our fourth and potentially final map of the night will be. We're going to be heading to the push map of Coliseo here. And honestly, Coliseo, in my opinion, kind of leans more towards maybe rush, maybe a little bit more brawl than what Insidous kind of told us they like to play. Mostly is that poke comp. They did say they have some brawl, but tend to favor the poke.
But like we've said kind of earlier, maybe Insidous has something in their back pocket for this map. Maybe this is something where they pull out something a little bit different, a little bit weird that they think that put Empire on their back foot and give them the best advantage here. Coliseo and most of the push maps, even though they do tend to favor brawl kind of rushy comps overall, I feel like they're still so new and fresh that there are still so many things that we haven't discovered about them that a lot of different comps can work if your team is used to running those comps. So it'll be interesting to see what the teams decide to run out on here.
I mean, if you're Empire, I expect to see maybe the Reinhardt come back out. I feel like that worked really well for them on Eichenwald, and the little bit we saw on Ilias, not a lot, not able to really get anything going there. Rialto, they played just great on that map. Maybe they decided to try to come back out with what they used there. But if you're Insidous, just you need to come out with what you absolutely think is your best. And honestly, what they're coming out with right here, that was the best they looked on Ilios when they played the Zarya.
100%. We've definitely seen them with that Zarya, Kiriko, Bastion, just very high damage output, high speed, high aggression comp. Empire is running kind of what we saw them run on Ilios as well. They're running a little bit more of a slower comp, a little bit more heavy sustain. So if Insidous is able to recognize that and really just put in a ton of damage, they might still be in this. That said, Empire, again, has a ton of momentum coming in here. We've seen them run very coordinated, very well practiced brawl before. So Insidous certainly is going to have their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, and for Empire here, walling off someone with Train's Ice Wall here is going to be the name of the game here to win this opening fight. However, if you just, W key into Sep there, that also works as well. You find Yaxum as well. Yeah, this is a good start for Empire, not the start that Insidious wanted, and you're trying to see most of them get out of here. Your teammate now trying to get away, not going to be able to as they fall off the map. I don't know if that was by choice or they just missed the wall.
Yeah, that was honestly just such good aggression coming out of B-Ball Man there, though. I said earlier that Insidous kind of would probably favor those fast, aggressive fights, but B-Ball Man and Empire didn't even allow them to get those fast, aggressive fights in. They saw the comp that they were running and decided, no, we are going to be the ones who are the aggressors here. We're not even going to let them find the target that they want to go on to. So really, really good play there by Empire.
Now you see Insidious here trying to split up, do a lot of damage, maybe get a couple of the members of Empire here to focus in on one, allowing the rest of their team here to open up. Not necessarily finding enough yet. B-Ball Man has to charge away from HaychZee there, but that Game Boy gonna be able to find them. And now, if you're Insidious, you got rid of the tank. The damage though coming out from Glitch, Sep gonna shut down Istas there, and Insidious needs to try to find a couple more picks here. Train ice blocking there on point to try to start out a little bit. Cry gonna be able to wall ride themselves out of that one. Train will eventually fall. Sep with a nice railgun shot there on the Glitch will end this team fight, and now Insidious gonna be able to push this barrier for the first time.
Yeah, really good idea there by Glitch, setting up the Amp Matrix, really trying to zone out Insidious, but Insidious played around that very well and were able to get the picks that they needed in order to force Empire to have to reset here. We do see Empire is coming up on all 5 of their other ults. Insidious has 4 of their other ults, I should say. Insidious has 5 in the pocket here. It'll really come down to just which team is able to use their ults better and more effectively.
Overclock coming out, but look at that. The Death Blossom finds to your teammate, also investing the beat into this one. And if you're Insidious, you're going to be able to take the lead off of those 2 ultimates right there. Sep and HaychZee picking up the final 2 ones there. And Cry also on the point, trying to stall it out there a little bit. Sep will take care of them. And now Insidious going to be able to take the lead, but not going to be able to get to the forward spawns.
Yeah, definitely a really good ult there by Dak Game Boy, though. In spite of the fact that Cry used their beat, that should have been able to sustain them through that. Just was able to get the picks that they needed in order for their team to push on through here. Insidious still with 3 ults of their own, but we see a Shatter coming out early here as well.
The grab does come out, and if you're Insidious, you need to try to find some picks off that. However, they're not finding anything. It's Empire all the way here. 3, 4, about to make it 5 here. It's a team kill for them here, and retaking control of the bot, only down about 17 meters here.
Glitch basically earned their ult back up in like a fight and a half, which is absolutely fantastic for Empire coming in here. Otherwise, they would have just had Train's freeze ult, which again, very strong ultimate, but a little bit different to run against this sort of more mobile comp that Insidious is running here. Insidious coming up with a Kiriko ultimate of their own, which is going to be really good maybe for zoning and getting a little bit more damage out, but might not be enough compared to what Empire has.
Hit Rush comes out to immediately try to counter there by the Ant Matrix. Glitch will find Dak with a nice ice wall there from Train. The Blizzard coming out. Sep will find them though. No one getting frozen just yet, but the kill feed is lighting up Empire Blue there. As Hasdia will take themselves out there, but a lot of damage taken there by B-Ball Man. B-Ball Man will also find your teammate and Yaxum not able to get away. And now Empire will be able to take the lead.
Yeah, Insidious is not up on any of the ults of their own. We do see Empire being able to push it through. Probably going to get pretty close to getting those forward spawns as well. Dak Gameboy having the closest up to their ultimate on Insidious is going to be really looking to try to make something work with that.
Artillery barrage coming out here from Empire. Do you see Insidious try to kick the bot away for a moment? Instead, they're going to be able to find stuff. Dak Gameboy, though, finding Cry is a huge pick for them because if they do get that Blossom ready to go, they do have it for free here. Sep making the swap over to Bastion as they come back, but Istas finding Dak Gameboy there is a huge pick for them. Immortality Field going to be coming out there to save B-Ball Man and Istas there, and they're picking up the kills they need, and now they're going to be able to get the forward spawns because I don't think Sep is going to even try to challenge them.
Nor should they really. You want to be able to get together and get a nice big 5-man fight coming up here. Insidious does have that ultimate up from Dak Gameboy. We've seen them use that to great effect coming up, or recently. Glitch, again, has another window up.
No.
Cry's got a beat here to counter the oh, we see a sneaky shatter coming out.
Only hits one. The beat comes out. Will not find anything off of it there. They tried to be sneaky. Doesn't necessarily work out for them. Beat coming out from Cry and the Ant Matrix. Dak Gameboy does have the Blossom, but they get shut down as Cry finds one. Make that two onto the DPS line there for Insidious. Instas shuts down Hasdio, and now Empire rounding the final turn here into the home stretch.
Really, really good play by Cry there. Cry had used their beat fairly early, trying to sustain their team from the beat of Insidious. Didn't have it up for that ultimate, but was watching Dak Gameboy, knew they had it, and knew that they had to be shut down as quickly as possible, and then took the Bastion out as well. Just absolutely fantastic play by Cry.
Yaxum probably having to use his Suzu to get themselves out of that tough spot right there. Here comes the Artillery Barrage, trying to get rid of one, not going to be able to find anyone. Grab coming out from Hasdio as a last-ditch effort here. It captures all 5 members of Empire, but the Immortality Field going to be able to keep everyone alive. Sep now dropping their artillery strike of their own, not going to be able to find anyone with that. Istas, though, is going to be able to find your teammate and Sep right there. Kasuna Rush coming out here from Insidious as they need to have something go their way here, but it's all going the way of Empire. Train throwing out their Blizzard. Istas continues to pick up kills here. Yaxum, Hasdio in a very bad spot. Istas again picking up kill after kill after kill here. Going in, trying to get the other Bastion right now. Train's gonna take that one, and will anyone for Insidious get back? The Amp Matrix coming out. You do see that Gameboy get there, but yeah, it's Istas shutting down your team. It has Dio coming back out on the Orisa. Beat coming out here from Empire, but you're seeing that kill feed still just light up blue. Sep coming out on the Tracer, not gonna do enough here, as you do see. Wow, they're still coming back. I'm surprised by this, but
they
you
are
do
not
see,
giving up.
They are not giving up. They will not give up either, as they're coming back for another round here. Istas, though, still alive, pumping in the damage there. B-Ball Man taking care of Yaxum. The Death Blossom, though, comes out, finds one, and you see Hasdio come back. Sep coming back as well on the Tracer again, but you're starting to see some picks go Insidious' way. Horror Cry, B-Ball Man shutting them all down. It's only about half a meter away. B-Ball Man shuts down your teammate Yaxum there. B-Ball Man will shut them down, and Empire, after dropping the first map, takes 3 maps in a row to put themselves 3-2 on the season.
After that first map, Empire just absolutely looked dominant. They were playing very coordinated. They were doing just honestly incredible work, rotating their ults well, rotating their positions well. We see Cry here. I think this is probably when they shut down. Yeah, they shut down the ultimate and got the pick onto the Bastion. Just really, really good play by them. But we've seen that Empire, honestly, they just were team. Both of these teams obviously have a lot of really good raw talent on them. We've seen really good individual play from both teams. I feel like Empire just had the edge in terms of how well they played together as a cohesive unit.
I mean, go back to the first map there of Ilios when Insidious won that map, and it was really because Empire just kept on making swaps, not necessarily getting anything to go their way there. And I think they realized that heading into Eichenwald, but they really needed the first point of Eichenwald to go really good for them, or I felt like they kind of would have fallen back into that same kind of pattern that they fell into Ilios there, and they had that first point on Eichenwald go almost perfectly. The Sim TP strats worked to perfection. They were able to find the first kill onto Insidious, and then it kind of all just snowballed there to over 4 minutes on that map when they completed it.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very pivotal map for both of those teams, and I feel like Empire was really able to bring themselves back up from the first point loss and just really show Insidious what they were made of, and show the rest of us that they deserve to be in that talk for playoff contention for one of the higher performing teams. That said, Insidious did manage to take a map. That is not something that should be understated. That is a massive win for them, especially since they've had a little bit more struggle kind of going through this season. I think it just goes to show that they are continuing to grow and improve as well, and that they are probably going to continue to try to work on that as we approach stage 2.
Yeah. Sorry, but like I kind of said, Ilios looked really good for them. Eichenwald, I mean, they struggled on defense, but on the offense, they got a pretty good amount of the way through before really the time bank killed them there. Rialto was probably the worst they looked all series, in my opinion, and then you had to call Seo. They actually looked really good there. They were actually able to shut down Empire for 1 or 2 team fights, but after that, Empire had those ultimates built up, and they started to rotate through them pretty good, and just were never really allowed Insidious to get back into it. So I think even with Insidious dropping this one, they still have a lot to look forward to in the second half of this season.
Absolutely. And with that said, Dex, who was your player of the match tonight?
I mean, it's hard, honestly, because you can go back and look at Istos on Rialto, basically kind of controlling that entire map. I feel like Cry did really good on Coliseo there, and on Eichenwald as well, just being able to kind of keep everyone alive. But I'm gonna give the Cry. I feel like the supports never necessarily get the credit they deserve. Did I take yours?
You know what, Dex? Yes, but it's fine. This is why we're frenemies. Go on.
Nope. Yeah, I'm taking Cry. Your turn now to pick someone.
All right. Well, in that case, I am going to pick Istos. We saw them be absolutely dominant on multiple maps, but especially that Rialto one where Empire just looked absolutely so well practiced and clean, getting ultimate after ultimate when basically everybody else on either team only got 1 that entire time. So really good job to them, and good job to all of these players. Honestly, like I said, everybody had such good individual play. We saw a lot of players making really good impact plays for their teams on both sides. So it was just a really fun match to watch, and I wish both of these teams the best of luck moving forward.
But that will do it for us here tonight. Remember, event week starts Friday with the staff pugs. That's gonna be a lot of fun. However, the game on Tranquility GG2 of Classified and Reckless Gamma is still going on. They're at halftime right now, or in the 3rd map. It is 1-1 in that series. So when this stream ends, we're going to be rating that one. BethCon, I want to thank you so much for being my co-cast tonight. You were great, as always. I want to also give a quick shout out to T and Orange, our producers and our observers tonight. They did a great job getting all the angles that you guys saw throughout the night. But like I said, hang around here. We're going to raid Tranquility GG2 for the conclusion of Classified and Reckless Gamma. Good night, everyone.